like your banana car photo.
Wait for it.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
I have chlamydia.
Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan. Thanks.
Welcome to Four Brewers. My name is Matt Becker, and as always, I'm joined by
John Holzer.
Jason Hizzy.
Greg Nizzy.
And we've got some good stuff coming up on this episode. We got some resin. We're going to do some homebrew discussions. But first, we're going to go to the mailbag.
Four Brewers mailbag.
And a mail. And a mail. Hot diggity dog, it's and a mail.
It should be pointed out that during the mailbag episode, we're going to be drinking a little local beer.
Yeah.
Which isn't actually in front of us at the moment. It's somewhere in the fridge.
A local beer.
Greg had one job, and
he said
Good job, Greg.
6 cans. I brought them out.
and then I said Paladin.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
We are drinking some Paladin Hoppy Pale Ale from Wicks Brewing Company, a Riverside favorite.
This is their first beer in a bottle.
Yeah, first bottled beer, and
I wouldn't say first. The first one that went out to mass distribution in SoCal.
I'm pretty sure it's their first one in bottles at all.
Nah, they did something else. I remember someone winning a bottle of something at some point at a.
Well, this is the first real one.
Yeah.
And it's a solid ass beer. I've had it before. So they were nice enough to give us beer. They gave us beer to feature on the show, and John drank it all.
I did?
So, yeah, the ones previously, they were like, I gave John those beers, and then he just drank them.
No.
'Cause you were talking up that beer all of a sudden, and then we never did it on the show.
Well, anyways, shout out to Ryan Wicks for
Ryan
giving
gave
us
us
these
more
bottles.
beer to drink on the show.
Yeah, and our boy Herbie for being a local legend.
Yeah, Herbie Homebrew. Brian.
Yeah, Brian
big ol',
Herbertson.
So this smells super danky, right?
This is a pale ale, too. It's like 5.9, I believe.
Yeah, I get more of like that, like piney, like resinous, like tree sap type thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
piney
say.
as fuck.
Yeah. It's got a really nice aroma on it.
And so while we're doing that, we're starting our new segment, the 4B mailbag. You send us fucking shit. Send it to feedback@fourbrewers.com. We'll read it.
Yeah, people
on the air.
actually sent stuff to feedback@fourbrewers.com. We've only mentioned it every single episode this entire run, and I think this is the second or third.
Here's the problem: we're not responding to it on the show, and we're changing that today.
All right,
changing that today.
We need banjos to go along with the 4B mailbag. It's 4B mailbag.
I think this is. I think the banjo is just a you thing, Greg.
4B mailbag.
So what
Grab your mama, grab your dad. Gonna read the mailbag.
Just read the email. Jesus Christ!
All right, it's from Kyle, who I think may be listening to us live.
I think he's listening to us currently. Yeah.
Max Power, Kyle. Subject: Brewery Blind Show.
Oh, yeah. That. Okay.
I'd like to see all the brewery / Raid John Seller blind tasting show, have Matt sit out and be the porous, and get Natalie DeNicholas back and sit in for Matt. So basically, it's just like, fuck Matt. Get him off the show. That Natalie chick, she seemed nice. Bring her back.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know.
I feel like we should avoid.
That's tough.
I avoid, doing public podcasts about my employer, and I feel like everybody else should too.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's tough because I feel like I would just want to like chime in all the time. Like, I don't think about that.
He made the beers.
Yeah, and so well, knowing John's, those are from like 4 years ago. So who knows?
Gotcha.
Maybe we could drink like all the weird old like
Gunga Galunga.
Yeah, what was it called? The Provisions series beers and shit.
Bira Basta
Snoogle Fritz.
or whatever the fuck. all the shit that was from before I was there, so I can talk shit about it.
Do you have a White Orchard floating around?
Actually, he might.
White Orchard was good. I liked that beer.
It tasted like soap.
Orchard White?
Or Orchard White, yeah.
Yeah. Not White Orchid?
That was the
wait,
beer.
that was also a beer.
Yeah, it was. So, yeah.
I think that would be fun. But Matt, with his situation at work, he made it clear to us starting the show that we couldn't do brewery beers on the show.
Black
Tuesday was an exception because it's a big-ass barrel-aged beer that...
So we kind of had to include it in that whole series.
Yeah, but to have like a brewery-centric show...
Maybe we'll just empty John Cellar of everything that's not the brewery.
So there's like, what, 2 beers? both of which are Crickets, Dave?
I could see doing that as like a Patreon kind of show. Matt just wouldn't be here at all. He wouldn't serve. He wouldn't do anything. It'd just be us with... And I like having Natalie on the show, too. She was really fun. We got a lot of good feedback
We're
about
getting
her,
Natalie
too.
back for sure.
Yeah, Natalie was cool.
As long as she will come back, we will have her back.
So it's not out of the realm of possibilities, but at this point, as long as Matt's on the show, there will be no brewery shows, which kind of sucks, but it's okay.
Maybe we can record it live from the brewery with Patrick or somebody.
I think that would be obviously a different case. Yeah.
I just won't be there. I'll just be like, I'm gonna go brew.
Matt's going to call in sick that day.
You could be there. You're there with your boss.
We'll ride with
everything's
you.
on the up and up, so...
We'll ride in with Matt to work, and then Matt will go into the brewery and start brewing, and we record a podcast and drink and have fun, and he just gets to sit over there sad, like...
Yeah, and I'm gonna like take gravity readings. I'm gonna look in the window, and you're all gonna be like, "Yeah, this is the best thing ever!" And I'm gonna be like, "I gotta go."
It's like
the heat
tearfully outside of prom, just the lights shining on him, just my endless love.
Without you. The first time NBT filmed at the brewery is when Brad Kohlenberg was on the show. The second time, Matt was on the show, and we got to brew with Tyler before the show. Yeah. And I remember you walking around. Tyler was like giving us a tour, and you were like a little kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You were all stoked, and now you're just so jaded.
Yeah, I am. I'm like, fuck all that shit.
But yeah, so I'd love to do a brewery show, but it's complicated.
Yeah. What does everyone think of this beer?
It's great. I was a big fan of this beer when it first came out, and I did not receive any bottles from Wicks, by the way.
We are ending the mailbag segment. Grab your mama, grab your dad, closing up the big mailbag.
It's not a big mailbag. It's a very small.
There's a really, really
There was another question, though, right?
Don't ask mom and don't ask dad. It's just not that big mailbag.
So, next episode, be prepared for another mailbag segment.
We want to have one every show, so send us your shit. If it's dumb, if it's a question, a comment,
anything at all.
Yeah, who cares? Just contact us. Please.
If you just want to
let us know that you're out there.
If you just want to hear your name on the podcast, just fucking
send us a postcard.
Send us a note. Paladin
Telegraph.
Good beer. Right?
Paladin is quite tasty. Yeah, I am very happy with this.
Wicks, I think they got a 15 barrel tank. It's their first 15 barrel tank, and I believe this was the first batch of Paladin that went into that tank.
Yep.
And it was kind of like, okay, we're gonna bottle it, and I know Herbie was like, okay,
yeah.
I hope it turns out well, and it turned out great. So it's a win-win for everyone.
I think it went very well, and it also apparently won gold at the Los Angeles International Beer Competition 2015.
Oh.
All right.
Sweet.
The beer is great. I don't know how prestigious that competition is.
Yeah.
But
well, we have certain breweries from around here that are winning medals, and
they
like,
definitely maybe it was the big fish in the small pond of that brewery, that beer festival.
Yeah.
Let's not shit on the fest. Let's just talk about the good beer.
Yeah. Good call.
For a 5.9, I believe, ABV beer, it's pretty hoppy, pretty tasty. It's
5.6.
5.6. It's not session. It's in that realm, though.
What's a pale ale?
Yeah, but it's a hoppy pale ale. So you could think of it as like a session-ish IPA.
It's like those hops that are in your face.
But I won't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'll think of it as a pale ale.
Right on.
Good stuff.
Sweet. Next up.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
MCA.
I was really trying to keep it together.
So I had an idea to do a 6-point show. I don't know why. We don't get 6-point in Southern California.
It's good, though. We're branching out.
A brewery bold enough to put beer in Red Bull cans.
It's a Red Bull can. It really is.
I like their cans.
They're like Red Bull cans. They're little 12-ounce, like, thin cans.
What should we start with?
Well, we've got the crisp, we've got sweet action, and then we have the almighty resin.
I feel like that's the order we should go in.
Yeah. So Crisp is a lager.
So let's talk about Sixpoint.
With a great name.
Sixpoint's from Brooklyn. They're
let me tell you something about Sixpoint. Basically, they were founded in 2004, and they were born at the dawn of civilization.
They have a really weird hipster. That's no joke.
Epically long.
Not epically long, but it's just convoluted. Like, it's like some historical records indicate Sixpoint Brewery, but the real birth. It's like, what? And it's all about like the culture of the Sixpoint and the brewing society. I don't know, man. It's some incomprehensible fucking shit. I'm like trying to read this. I'm like, what is pictographs? Like what?
Yeah, they have
depicting the craft of brewing were rife with symbolism.
Right,
the Sixpoint Brewer's star.
All right, check it out. When the mad scientists emerged from underground, the quest for a new formulation went from obsession to reality.
What the fuck?
What do you get when you fuse old world craftsmanship with new, clean, and bold flavors from the right raw materials? The Crisp. It's mad science.
What do you get when you fuse craftsmanship? Pouring your beer into ancient cool ships.
What? That was great.
Did you practice that? Like
Pure improv, bro. That was pure improv. Well done.
Great name for a beer, though, especially a lager. The Crisp. That pretty much sums it up, I hope. If it's not crispy, I'm going to be disappointed.
It's up there with Refresh, which I think is a great name for just
Refresh. Does it end with an E? R-E-F-R-E-S-C-H-E?
No. Oh. No, it's in East LA, man. It's just Refresh.
It's kind of lame.
These guys
smells nice.
Yeah, great graphic design on their cans.
Bready biscuity.
Referencing the last show, the toaster pastry can was like the big swinging dong can. Yes. And these cans are the more realistic. I mean, even if it was
Speak for yourself, asshole.
That would be great for me. But yeah, they're like the mini toaster pastry cans.
We're really ensuring that we're not going to get any prestigious brewing awards.
It's okay.
Well, so how does this can look like a dick?
on the dick scale that we normally use these beers from, I give this one a 14.
I'd say this is about a 6-incher.
We should do like a full NPR-ish episode, like, hey Matt, this beer's So Sixpoint
is from Brooklyn, California.
Ooh, past
Brooklyn, California.
It's from Brooklyn.
Already fucked up.
I've had this beer 2 times, and past me hated it.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I don't hate this. This is good. It's crispy. It tastes
very crisp,
bready. It's got some a little bit of.
I feel like this is Pilsners are growing on me. So past me was like Pilsner, fuck off, and now me's like, you're
growing up.
Yeah,
you're really growing up. You're becoming a big boy beer drinker.
But you're big boy
enjoying the lightness. Well, but then again, you have always enjoyed the lightness.
That's right.
It's pretty hoppy.
Yeah, it's got a really nice, like, kind of noble, like, herbal, spicy hop character to it. Yeah, this is really nice. I am very happy with it. It's 44 IBU. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's up the like the top of the German Pils.
Yeah, yeah, like way at the top, if not over. That's got some pop to it. Damn.
And I gotta say, we got these beers from our buddy Scott McElhone.
Hey, Scott.
He's also a patron on Patreon.
Hey, dude.
I threw a thing out there. Phil Lorenzini from Florida was going to try to hook us up with some beers, but it didn't work out. And then Sixpoint got involved, and they were like, "Hey, how can we make this work by hooking you up with beers to send to them?" Which I thought they would just send us beer, but they didn't. So Scott actually ended up hooking it up, and I got them just after GABF or just before or something.
Right around there, yeah. But
yeah. So thanks, Scott. You're the man. Dude. He's an avid fan of the show and a big supporter. So,
sweet.
Thanks, dude.
So we got Crisp. What else do we got here from
this is it's a really clean beer. Overall, it's
it's a really clean beer. I like how they come in Red Bull cans. It's a very unique packaging format. And
I drank a bunch of this beer when I was in Boston. And for some reason, it stuck out to me that the really cool beer store I went to was so committed to the idea of you can get a single of everything that you could just rip open the boxes of these and take one out. They encouraged it. They're like, please do.
That sounds like a nightmare.
No, it's dope because I only wanted one.
Well, fair enough.
I think it's fairly light on the palate too. It's got a lot of carbonation happening.
Yeah.
Fairly hoppy.
It pops for sure.
Yeah, it's very crisp.
Got the pop
Doesn't
and the
lie.
hop.
It is
It
the
pops.
crisp.
So Sweet Action is the next one. I don't know anything about this beer. It's called
Jason,
Sweet Action.
You have a computer in front of
I
you.
know nothing about it. John's got the can in front of him.
We did no
analog.
research. So through all
wrote the
of the
cans?
madness emerged an undefinable beer called Sweet Action, a beer that your brain cannot categorize, but instead speaks directly to your palate. Our senses and intuition sometimes trump. Rational thought.
China.
Dude,
China.
This sounds like it should be read by Don LaFontaine.
In a world.
Vincent Price.
Yeah. Through all the madness, emerge an undefinable beer called Sweet Action. A beer that your brain cannot categorize, but instead speaks directly to your palate.
Can you do it as Vincent Price?
No, I cannot. Our senses and intuition sometimes trump rational thought. It's mad science.
All right.
I suppose. No, I can't do it Vincent Price at all. No, there's no way. I tried like 2 words, and I'm like, this is not working at all.
Is Vincent Price the dude on the Thriller video?
Yes.
I mean, he was in a lot of
For
other
the
stuff, but
thriller.
Yeah. I think you could
Our
do it if you
senses
worked
and
for
intuition
For
sometimes
ghouls
trump
and ghosts.
rational
Do
thought.
something.
No, just the brain is what I come through.
You'll need a lot more compression on your mic, I think.
Yeah, seriously.
Vincent Price.
Bow, bow.
Is that parody of it, like the lip sync video where
Bow, bow. Bow, bow. Bow, bow.
never
After
mind.
midnight, something's looking deep inside.
Can you pour that? I would like some sweet.
So Sweet Action. Hey,
I can't do Michael Jackson.
What kind of beer
let's
is this?
see here. Sweet Action. It's 34 IBU, 13 SRM. I am for some reason thinking it's an amber.
I think so. They apparently go to a great effort to point out that it's indescribable. But these guys seem really kind of up their own ass with these beers.
Yeah, a little
Like
bit.
the descriptions, the beers are
Let
fine.
me describe it for you.
At least their marketing department.
Yeah, like they've got a creative writing major guy who's just
exactly.
like, I got a lot to say.
Smells like caramel malts.
It's a really nice coppery hue. God, this is a beautiful beer. Look at this.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. The color is like in between like amber and copper. The head is like pure white.
Fluff.
Safe to
It's
call
like
it.
pure
safe
as
to
the
call
driven
it,
snow.
Camber, maybe. Yeah. Anyway.
It's got some hop pop to it, like almost like a Columbusy Chinook, like
Good call, yeah. Full Columbus.
yeah, definitely.
CTZ all up in there.
Yeah.
Hop on
Nostrils.
pop.
What do you think Sweet Action refers to? When I hear Sweet Action, I think of a guitar. It's like this guitar has like sweet action on it, like, you know.
I think of getting some sweet action.
Really?
Yes.
I think of a guitar. I think
think
I'm
from
right.
from a lady.
I think of that song Action
Nah.
by what's the name of that band? It's from the 70s. It's like, that's why everybody wants a piece of the action. Sweet is the name of the band.
Oh, man.
Sweet Action?
Actually, hold on. Is that true? Yeah, actually, that may be what it is.
The sweet action makes you think of action by sweet.
Yes. Everybody wants a main attraction.
Yeah, it's definitely this is like it's like a very like hoppy sort of amber thing. Dead air, guys, come on.
It's okay. I mean,
It's clean. It's bright. It's got pop.
it's very one-notey in the nicest way possible.
It's a little diacetyl.
Yeah, I mean, it's there, but
It's actually pretty diacetyl.
Whoa, you're fucking losing it now.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm just talking about the
just
malt.
a little bit.
The malt and the hops are very one-notey. Like, it's not a beer that hangs around in your palate. It's really clean as far as diacetyl aside.
Yeah, these are their
It's
standard.
very super carbonated again.
yeah, they definitely pop with the carbonation, don't they?
These what?
Jason, what are you doing?
Chill the fuck out. Why is it doing this? I don't know what's happening.
Apparently,
Taking a photo?
Have you
Like-
never had your Chromebook beep at you before?
No. Rarely. Computers don't beep that much.
Yeah, definitely get that slickness on the mouthfeel.
It's not bad. I think we're kind of making it sound worse than it actually is.
It's on the tip of diacetyl. It's not
we've reached the point of the session where Matt starts dumping his entire pour.
Oh, Matt.
Fuck you guys.
But yeah, this is not. I'm not a fan.
It hasn't been my favorite. The crisp was quite wonderful.
I think all that matters right now is resin. That's what.
Yeah, that's really what it's leading up to. I mean, like, yeah. Let's just do the resin, shall we?
You guys, we've gotten this far into the show, and I haven't made a 6-point None the Richer reference. But,
so
resin. What was their big hit?
Kiss Me was the song.
Resin. A tiny can that's metal.
Newfound Glory did a great cover of that
Under
song
the
too.
Milky Twilight. What the fuck's that supposed to mean?
Semen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kiss me with semen on my face.
Gross. Jesus.
The technical term is snowballing.
Again, the fucking
No, that's
beer
not on your
writers,
face.
Yeah,
the Beer Writers Guild people are just like...
Yeah, they went back in all our old episodes and they were like, there's a lot of dick and semen references here.
A lot of jizz in this show. A lot more than we're comfortable with.
We're the new school. How about that? No?
I think they just need to get more comfortable with jizz, frankly.
We're not new school. We've been doing this shit for a long time. Just not.
Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years.
All right, Resin, please don't let us down.
Yeah.
Because so far, this is kind of uneventful.
Yeah, it's this resin is a big hyped beer. I mean,
Yes.
resin was like a huge deal, especially for being from Brooklyn, California.
Resin has their own Untapped badge. Like that's how much they dumped into this beer.
Yeah, 9.1% alcohol, 103 IBU. Shall I do my my Ray LaFontaine voice?
Go for it.
All right. Resin is not about fearing the mysterious and potent force of the hop cone. It's about embracing it. Feel it coat your tongue, tango with the malt, and slap some bitter sense into you. Yes, it stings, but feels so good at the same time. Now that's mad science.
What?
Yeah, that's on the can. That was verbatim.
So
It sort of made sense.
each of these beers has a song. Like obviously, Sweet Action is Action by Sweet. That's that's too much of a coincidence. It can't. But so like the theme song of this beer, like the first one is the Santana Champagne song from Lonely Island, and because it's so crisp. And then the theme song of this one is Hurt So Good, apparently.
Well,
Yeah. Sometimes love just don't feel like it should.
I got to be honest. I'm kind of let down by this this whole thing. It's
I actually think this is really good. I could use some more bitterness.
I think it needs a lot more bitterness. It's called resin. It's not resiny.
It's pretty hot.
I disagree. I think it's super resiny. It's got that like that thick fullness.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Take a second sip.
It's like somebody drank Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA and tried their best to copy it. Like this is very close to Dogfish 90-minute IPA in my mind.
It's like somebody mama birded 90-minute into my mouth.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I kind of can relate to what you're saying.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff they would do there, right? They're like, we realize that there's an enzyme in your spit, and so we took 90-minute IPA and we swished it, and then we spit it in there, and we had all of our employees, and so you have all their DNA, and it's
you cheated it.
Yeah, we 90-minute.
It's a 90-minute chicha beer.
Chicharron.
Chicharrones.
I guess it's not bad at all. It's decent. It's worth drinking. But as far as being a hyped beer, I feel like I'm kind of let down.
We're really spoiled by our double IPAs.
That's
and I'm
true.
trying to get that out of my brain. Like this is different.
Last year, I traveled up the East Coast and drank a lot of these beers, and I was just like,
You know what, though?
I wish I was at home.
I'm on some forums that are pretty active with guys from back east and whatever, and they're all like, yeah, 6 points good, I guess. It's like most of them kind of treat it like they're kind of
the grocery store beer.
Yeah, it's like the middle of the road beer that you can get everywhere. So,
all right.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's a hype beer at all. It maybe
it was for a time. It seems like it had that sort of knuckle sandwich effect, where it was a really, really big deal right in the beginning. And then the more
waited in line.
Yeah, exactly. But then the more it rolled out, the more people kind of got used to it being around. And now it's like, resin, I can just go to the grocery store and pick up a 4-pack or whatever format this comes in. But I find it strange that I'm the one who's enjoying it the most out of everyone.
I like it okay.
That's an unusual.
I think the common thread on these beers that I'm not a fan of is that they're all kind of one notey and they're all super carbonated. I mean, yeah, there's hops and it's a double IPA, but there's no complexity to it. It just seems like there's hops.
I would like to point out that I think the crisp is the clear winner here. Like the crisp,
for sure.
The crisp was quite tasty. I would buy that on the reg for sure.
And definitely the caramel malt thing.
Yeah, it's it definitely comes off as having a certain sweetness to it.
Caramel malt's a big 6-point thing, and historically, if you read the ancient scriptures, they pictograph a very caramel colored.
You line the thing up with the sunlight.
The Freemasons,
winter solstice.
The Freemasons had a very particular caramely malt that they loved using.
It's the eye of caramel malt.
Yeah. So
is it Travis from Society said that caramel malt is a flaw? Any sign of caramel malt in a beer in an IPA is a flaw.
Nice.
I would appreciate. Kind of agree with that. Yeah. I mean, used subtly. Maybe for color and
this
a little bit of something. But
it's very caramel malt heavy for sure.
Yeah.
It seems like we went back in time to a 2005 IPA almost.
Yeah. Again, like remember when it's still printed on their bottles, so they remember. Dogfish 90 Minutes, like the best IPA in the world, is printed on their label from like Esquire or some shit, right? Yeah. And
Gold
it's like
Farb.
There was a time when that was potentially true, like arguably true, and it's not.
Yep.
Guys, remember when Dogfish made regular beer?
No. I don't.
You got to go back in time.
We should do a weird Dogfish show because I have a bunch of weird Dogfish beer.
I mean, someone's got to drink it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just collecting dust.
I would love to have an entire episode of me shitting on Dogfish. That would be great.
No, I'm not trying to. I don't want to shit on Dogfish.
They're not good. Do you have like Bitches Brew in there so we can actually enjoy one?
Yeah. I got a bunch of good stuff. Well, I got a bunch of stuff that
Bitches
you may or may
Brew
not
is
like.
good, and like
I liked Hellhound.
Yeah, the Hellhound.
Fresh.
I feel like they're like, oh shit, we're putting a famous album on this. We really need to not do some fucking funky dumb shit.
Even though we're gonna blend it with Tej.
Right, they're just like, oh yeah, we took ancient brewing techniques that died out because they weren't good, and we brought them back.
One thing about Dogfish, I'm excited that they're expanding their spirits. That's kind of cool because their spirits.
How about you?
They've always been good. So
Greg Nagel, you got yourself a little bourbon barrel there, did you not?
I did not.
No?
Actually, I got some rye whiskey barrels.
Oh, fuck off! Close enough.
From our good friends up in Paso Robles, the Refined, their winery.
FIND.
Pretty much, yeah. Their winery who also distills their.
For being technical, Matt, it's not bourbon unless it's from Kentucky.
That's right.
That's not true. That's not true.
That is true.
No, it's not. Doesn't have to be made in Kentucky.
All right.
Prove it.
It has to be made in. It has to be 51% corn. It has to be in new, unused, charred American oak barrels. It does not have to be from Kentucky. You can have bourbon.
I thought it was a water profile thing too.
Nope. Oh. It has to be. It's the age. It has to be a minimum of 4 or 5 years
in Kentucky.
Like no, not in Kentucky.
In Kentucky though.
Nope.
I thought it was kind of like the champagne thing, where it had to be from that region, kind of thing.
It has to be from America. Like you couldn't make bourbon from like Europe or something like that.
I wikied
we can
it
make bourbon here.
I wikied it, and Matt is right. Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Produced in the United States, made from more than 51% corn, new charred oak, distilled to no more than 160 proof. Barrel aged entered into the barrel at no more than 125 proof. That's interesting. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, because they put it into the barrel at a certain proof and then they cut it when they bottle it.
And then bottled at 80 proof or more. So it has to be at least 80 proof. But yeah,
Excellent.
that's it. No minimum duration for aging.
Oh, that I wasn't aware of.
Products as little as 3 months are sold as bourbon. Exception is straight bourbon, which has a minimum aging requirement of 2 years.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we're talking about rye whiskey, which is 50% of the grist is rye.
51%.
51%. Correct.
my
Good
personal
correction.
favorite kind of whiskey.
I agree.
Love fucking rye whiskey.
I agree.
Yeah.
And Refined makes really crazy ass rye whiskey because it's wine based. I mean, it's they press grapes and then they ferment and distill the grape juice from their winery.
So it's like brandy.
As like
it's like a
They used to call that
grappa-
brandy in the old country.
Yeah. Well,
then they throw those in-
grappa's from stems and seeds. Brandy is from grapes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
you
I
got
came upon
you got a barrel.
I have a 10 gallon and a 5 gallon of their rye whiskey barrels.
Nice.
And
You have a 10 and a 5.
Yep. So they were freshly emptied this past weekend, and thanks to Kip for driving up to Paso Robles and
Kip Barnes.
Kip Barnes.
Hey, Kip.
And
Hi, Kip.
he was very nice.
Kip, who, by the way, is also a Destiny player, I found out. Because I just got Destiny.
Oh,
and
dude, yeah, he's the nerdiest guy.
He's
I know.
all about it. Yeah, which is pretty dope.
Is LA L-Works still a thing?
Yeah, I think he has a new investor.
Okay.
He's
Sweet.
going
Cool.
down that road.
Kip's a nice guy.
so-
He's a great guy.
So
Kip's a good dude.
Was that the one that was on Bar Rescue?
Shout out to Kip.
No.
No, not at all. So
This
That was like
conversation-
LA
yeah.
Beer Company, wasn't it, or something? Some
LA
bullshit.
yeah, it was some. It
You
was
can
some
see my confusion.
LA garbage thing. But when we were
That's what it was. LA Garbage.
yes,
So the conversation is twofold.
The Burtech Waste Management Brewery of Los Angeles.
The first thing I want to do is make my barrels not get gross.
Yes.
So I definitely want to put some solution in them until I can brew or...
You also want to keep the staves moist.
Right.
Because once they dry out, then the barrel will leak and you are just... You're fucked.
Yeah, you're inviting.
What did the barrel? Oh, sorry. What did the barrel come with? Like, what's in it when you got it?
Nothing. I think
it's
traces
just
of
residual. Like if I was to hold it upside down with the bung open, like whiskey would drip out.
You'd
of it.
get like
Yeah.
a shot
Like
of
a little
whiskey.
bit of sludge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like black, gross stuff would leak out.
dregs for sure?
Yeah,
yeah.
So I definitely want to
cut.
Pretty much. Yeah.
fill it up with like citric acid and potassium metabisulfite.
Yes.
is the only one I can find.
What's the thing that's flammable that you don't want to put inside of a barrel?
Magnesium.
Is that what it is?
Well, see, one of the things that some people do is they'll use magnesium sticks, which is essentially just gets really, really hot, and they'll use that to essentially like
It'll explode.
Yeah, re-toast the inside of a barrel, but because it's full of alcohol,
you're fucked.
yeah,
You're
it could very much.
You're making a
explode.
bomb.
Yeah.
I read a
Pretty much.
story about a car race. It was the 50th anniversary just happened, and they had made the bodies of the car out of magnesium. And when one of the cars crashed, it turned into like a
Flashbulb.
An extremely hot fire.
And the crowd goes wild.
And then when
And then like burn through the
dead.
asphalt.
Then when the fire department tried to spray water on it, it made it worse and exploded everywhere, injuring a whole lot more people.
Yeah.
It was a huge disaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
That's why you don't want to make anything out of magnesium.
Yeah.
I want to mention also during this segment we're drinking Almanac Citra Sour.
We are. Shout out to Jesse. This is really good.
Had this at
I-
GABF. Wow.
I remember a MacGyver episode where there was a bicycle made of magnesium, and MacGyver filed a little bit of the bicycle off and made like a blowtorch to get out of an armored car.
Yep.
Oh.
Hashtag magnesium.
Hashtag MacGyver.
Twinsies.
Twins!
And twins.
We're going to bring that back to a new generation. A whole new generation of beer drinkers who weren't drinking beer in the 80s are going to remember and twins.
So yeah, shout out to Almanac. This is delicious. So these barrels that you got, we were kind of talking about what you wanted to do with them, and we kind of landed on quad, right?
Yeah, the 5 gallon one, I'm definitely going to fill it up with cider.
Okay.
Like a few years ago, I won gold at the OC Fair for my New England cider.
Okay.
Which is a bourbon barrel aged cider, and you can sweeten it up a little bit. But that was
Dope.
awesome.
Okay.
The 10 gallon one, you can go a few ways. You can go the stout road, or you can go a quad road, or just like, just doing some weird kind of beer.
Or get weird with it. Yeah.
Yeah, like Weizenbach was something
Weizenbach
that-
sounds weird to me in a barrel.
My employers, the brewery, we just packaged a barrel aged Weissenbach, and it was fucking delicious.
Right? I'm just saying it sounds weird.
Yeah, I would have to lager to do that. I don't want a lager. So
Weizenbach isn't a lager.
A Bock beer is not a lager?
No, a Weizen. No,
that's right.
Yeah, Weizenbach is essentially an imperial Hefeweizen.
Yeah. True.
They're taking the hobbits to Weizenbach.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
it's such a stretch. That's such a stretch of a
Weizenbach
reference.
sounds like Isengard.
That's a pretty big stretch.
Fuck off.
That's a goatsy stretch right there.
Why? Jesus Christ. That's disgusting.
But why does he have a wedding ring?
Because he's married.
Okay,
so anyways, so Weizenbach isn't necessarily something I want to have 10 gallons of.
Right.
A quad definitely has the ageability factor that could go the right way.
Definitely.
You should collaborate with Peace Brewing on this one.
That definitely is something I'm going to do. But
oh, cool.
No, I would totally do that. That might be fun. You can keep it in his little his cold storage area.
That's a big ass cold storage area.
Yeah. Okay.
In his big fuck off cold storage area.
Yeah.
Yeah, one beer that definitely came to mind was Sticky Monkey from our friends at Firestone Walker.
Yeah,
that's like a Central Coast quad. That's also, it just says spirit barrels, so I'm not like
probably bourbon and rye.
I'm sure there's a blend of
some other stuff. Yeah.
So I'm trying to get the grist down for that, but I've never done a quad before, and it's not an easy beer to brew. For one,
I've never done one either.
You need a shitload of yeast. You need all the fucking grains.
Yeah. So, Matt.
What?
Let's make a quad.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
give us a recipe.
Figure this out. I have in front of me Stan Hieronymus's Brew Like a Monk, and I've got his potential grain bills for a Belgian dark strong, which is like Chimay-ish.
All right, so like for me, when I am going to make a quad, the first thing I think of is, what do you want the grain bill to be? So, I mean, you can do 2-row, but Pilsner malt is pretty much like your standard, right? Anything that's going to be coming out of Belgium is going to have Pilsner malt as base, okay? 2 more things that you're going to want. You're going to want Munich malt, and you're going to want Special B. Those are like your classics, okay? Right. I mean, your very standard quad malt bill is going to be...
Some sort of melanoidin sort of...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Shut up.
Yes, Special B.
It's like Special K, but...
So I would assume that there's going to be, your Pilsner malt. There's going to be some Munich in there for some breadiness and for some fullness of malt flavor. And then your Special B is going to be both your caramely and also a little tiny bit of like a roasty type thing.
Yeah, they have roasted chocolate, like in the 1% range.
For a dark strong, I can see that. But if you want to do like old school quad, then
is there a new school quad?
Well,
because I definitely want to go new school on this. I don't like
quad is one of those styles that, like, I feel like there's not a huge variance in it. It's not like, oh, well, that's an American quad. I mean, I guess a little bit with like Sticky Monkey, but it's a pretty defined traditional style. I think.
Well, in the Brew Like a Monk, that's they're doing quad, but they're also doing like Belgian dark strong, and so like the line is kind of
Chimay Blue. I
hazy.
think is the
right. Yeah, and so I would stick with a pretty standard Pilsner, Munich, and Special B.
I was thinking about throwing like maybe 45% 2-row, maybe like 50% Pilsner, Belgian Pilsner.
Yeah, you can do that.
Just so it's not so biscuity, crackery.
Well, also the thing about it though is that here's the thing about a quad is that your main flavors, your dominant flavors are going to be coming from your Special B, you're going to be coming from your candy syrup, and they're going to be coming from your yeast. And so, honestly, like if you did all 2-row or all Pilsner, like I honestly don't think it would make that big of a difference.
And also maybe less of a boil.
I don't know if it's necessarily a body issue because I would shoot for dryness, like with everything that you're doing.
I was thinking of mashing in like maybe 148-ish.
Yeah, I would say 148 would be a good way to go. And the fact that you're adding a bunch of sugar also helps with the dryness. Yeah, but the fact that there's going to be so much sugar and it's such a high ABV, you always want to go for as dry as possible.
So when I'm making a homebrew, I like to think backwards of I'm like I'm envisioning myself drinking the beer, and here's what I want it to taste like.
Right.
I want some figgy. I want some bready.
Right.
Maybe some sort of clovey, banana-y thing from the yeast profile.
Right.
And because it's going in a rye whiskey barrel, I want it to be also have some kick in the ass from like some nice oak character and maybe some spiciness from the rye.
Yeah.
And instead of like doing wheat, maybe throw in some flaked rye instead. Does that sound like a decent idea?
No.
Playing off the rye?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Rogan beer comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to do a quad, I would stick to the quad and I would let the barrel speak for itself.
Okay.
You know, because like
simple's always better.
Yeah, like you know, because if you have a really great quad and you put it in a barrel, then you know you're going to be getting something that's going to be really solid. If you throw something weird in there, then all of a sudden everything gets a lot murkier as far as what you're going to get at the end.
Right.
You know, and so personally, like unless this is something that you've done before, I would say, you know, stick to something that you know you're going to get pretty good results from.
So here's the thing: it's a 10-gallon barrel,
okay,
and so I definitely want a good quad fermentation,
right?
And at some point, I don't want to do secondary in the barrel the entire time.
Okay,
you know, I definitely want to have it be in the barrel for a few weeks and take it out when it tastes like it's done. Sort of like microwaving a burrito or something like that. But you definitely want to not have it get overly woody,
right?
You know. Or overly tannic.
Sure.
I want it to be light, drinkable, effervescent. So, yeah. I mean, any other advice you would?
I would say the only other thing I would do is get a stainless steel nail, you know, and do like the Vinny method of you know, drilling a hole in the barrel and putting a nail in there.
Sure.
That way you can sample it really easily and relatively sanitarily on the reg.
Okay.
And stainless steel nail is important too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
you don't want rust.
Steel.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. Actually, it was really cool because at one point there was, I think it was a, I forget where he gave the presentation, but I actually have notes where Vinny did a presentation on how they do their barrel aging, and he actually gave the McMaster car part number.
There you go.
For the stainless steel.
Yeah, because that's not an easy nail to find. You can't go to Home Depot. I don't think you can buy stainless steel nails at Home Depot.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to search real hard.
I go to McMaster.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and go with a regular nail because I want to make more of a rustic ale.
Rust.
Got it.
Yeah. So
you what? Tin roof. Rustic.
What kind of yeast do you want to use?
That's a good question. Looking in this Brew Like a Monk book, there's definitely, you know, the balanced sort of yeasts, and there's the high ester profile yeasts. I definitely don't want cloviness.
Right.
So I don't know.
Because I don't have a lot of input on the style personally, I just Googled a highly rated Westy 12 clone recipe.
Okay.
And they say Westmalle yeast.
Yeah,
Westmalle is a good one to use.
The Westmalle is like the standard for sure, and that's the best one to go with. I mean, like there's your choices are essentially like the Westmalle strain, the Chimay strain, or the Rochefort strain. The Rochefort strain is really great, but it's really finicky. You know, it flocks out like crazy, and so you can under attenuate.
Aren't some of the big quads bottle conditioned too?
Definitely.
Yeah,
you could theoretically try to prop up one of those just for funsies.
I'm definitely going to bottle condition these and Belgian bottle them and you know go down that road for storability.
Although was it that? No, I'm thinking about a different German beer that they use different yeast for bottling. But
no, they very well may. I'll make like for example, you know, the like Chimay, they like ship their stuff out to another place, and I'm pretty sure like wherever they bottle it, they don't use the standard Chimay yeast. But yeah, so I would say the Westmalle strain is probably best bet. Like the Chimay strain can get super bubblegummy, like to the point where it's like offensive to me, at least.
I don't want it to be, like taste like a cocktail. I want it to be like a nice, you know, sitting around the fire sort of beer that's kind of rich and caramely, and it's got those figgy kind of like Christmassy thing happening.
If your beer isn't as good as ABT 12, I'll throw it in your face.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say use a Westmalle strain. I would say ferment cool and long. One other thing that I would suggest too is with the candy syrup that you're using, don't go too dark.
Because D180, I think is
D80
or something like that.
The Westy 12 recipe specifically says D180, not D2 from dark candy, only D180.
Yeah, the really dark candy sugars tend to get super acrid. Like my thing with candy syrups is if you don't want to put it on your pancakes, don't put it in your beer.
Yeah,
because like some of those get really nasty,
super caramely.
I've never put candy
caramelized.
You guys, can we do a show where we put candy syrup on some fucking pancakes? Because that sounds amazing,
dude.
Or we get some waffles in here, and we'll go to more beer. We'll get some candy syrup, and we will just eat waffles,
dude. Like a D90. Like, oh my god, would be awesome.
I'll take some D90 waffles, please.
Especially
you just want the D.
Especially if we're going to keep recording at 10 a.m. Like we should really do some candy syrup waffles.
It's going to be a fun brew day because my system, my mash tun is a 10-gallon igloo thing where I can do 24 pounds of grain at a certain mash thickness. So, that's going to be fun.
Well, keep in mind though, I mean, a lot of your fermentables are going to be sugar, sugar and candy syrup. And so you're not going to need that much grain, all things considered.
One technique that I saw was, get your grain fermenting, and then when you're at high krausen, then throw in your D180 into the fermenter.
Yeah,
to cut down on fusels.
I saw that on Brewing TV.
Yeah, right. I don't know. There's sanitation issues. with that.
Could I boil it?
You could if you boil it, then you're also diluting it. And so, I think the gravity would be more difficult to
I wouldn't say you're diluting
calculate.
it. You're making it more concentrated, right?
Well, no. If you boil it, you would have to boil it in water. I mean, you couldn't just pour it into a pot and boil it.
I mean, for me, filling up 10 gallons is going to be an issue because my kettle is like Heineken keg, which is 12 whatever.
13.2.
Yeah. It's
foam control, dude. Foam control is your best friend.
Dude. Hook a brother up. I've never heard of this product, but I will definitely try it.
Foam control? Are you shitting me, dude?
No.
Oh my god, it's the best.
I sit there and fight a boil for half hour.
Oh no, use foam control.
You're talking about the shit I have in the eyedropper, right?
Yes, exactly.
What is this?
It's our good friend dimethyl polysiloxane.
What do they call it?
Firm cap.
Firm cap. Yeah.
You don't use firm cap?
Dude,
fuck no.
Firm cap.
My god. I boil over and I sit there with a fucking spray bottle all day long.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god.
I sit there I see foam starting to coagulate, drip, 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 and it's just like
it's magic.
Fucking dissolves.
It is fucking
firm
magic.
Cap.
Firm cap. Yes.
Have you ever actually used it in the fermenter?
I
only use it on boil. I have
You're supposed
to be able to use it in the fermenter to keep your krausen from getting all fucking crazy.
And the nice thing about that, at least on a pro scale, is if you don't have a lot of foaming and blow off, then you don't blow all of your yeast off, and so it actually helps you harvest more yeast.
Oh wow! Ooh, I want to blow you guys' yeast off.
Good Christ!
But yeah, so dude, firm cap is your best friend.
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
firm cap.
I can't believe you've never used firm cap. I've gone through even
Gallons.
as infrequently as I brew, I've gone through 3 or 4.
I've never even heard of this thing.
Oh my god!
You've never heard of firm
bottle?
cap?
No.
I left the room for a minute, but you've never
I have
heard
a
of
spray
firm
bottle
cap?
with water, and I'm just like.
You know what it is, dude? I think More Beer pushes it real heavily, and we're all local to More Beer, and Greg's out with not at More Beer.
Yeah,
but Firm
Damn
cap,
you, Scott Windsor.
Firm cap is great. It's seriously like a little eyedropper bottle that's that big of just these little white droplets, and
it's like silicone based, right?
You'll have a whole head foaming on the top of your boil kettle, and you put 2 drops in, and it just goes.
Yeah, it dissipates. It's awesome.
Crazy.
All right,
it is awesome.
Maybe I can do an 11-gallon boil in my 13-gallon kettle.
You definitely can.
Okay.
Yeah,
solves a lot of problems.
It's like $5.
Yeah,
because ultimately I was going to go down this road of
I'll give you some.
I'm going to do a 9-gallon boil, and then do a side batch of just I don't know, extract and D180 in the side, and then just dump it in. And then,
like I said, I left the room for a minute, but that firm cap, it's awesome.
Right.
I do magic, dude.
I do 14-gallon boils in my 15.5-gallon kettle.
Oh, fuck you.
So no, but that's just standard.
It's crazy.
I mean, I can do it without firm cap if I really watch the flame, but with the firm cap.
Yeah, I mean, I have a 7.5 gallon kettle, and I'm generally doing 6.5 gallons in it.
Yep.
That's the best part about homebrewing.
I fill it up to like
new things.
2 inches from the top, or like an inch from the top sometimes. Because when especially at the beginning, when I have to compensate for all the boil off, so I fill the thing fucking damn near to the top. But
I mean, I definitely want to get a new kettle that's 15 gallons where it can fit in whatever the fuck.
That's a solution. Just throw some money at it.
Yeah, but
right.
Just buy some Blingman 15 gallons.
$300, dude. Come on.
Yeah, seriously.
Bling,
that's what all the homebrew forums call it.
I didn't know that.
I
don't go to homebrew forums.
Blingman, man. Blingman.
I'm a lifetime supporter of Homebrew Talk, though.
Homebrew Talk has been the most valuable resource for me as a homebrewer.
Same here. When I built my brew stand.
Level-headed homebrewers.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
They are a little bit old manny, where they're just like, I don't understand why everyone likes all these IPAs. I brew myself nice English milds because I can't get them here.
There's those people, but no, I wouldn't say the whole site's that way.
No, but there's a lot of those guys.
Yeah,
I think the homebrew community,
but they're smart. They're smart, and they know, and they've been around a lot. So.
It's kind of like a thick and old peculiar.
Something like a fucking old.
I gotta say, I had a farmhouse mild from Jester King when I was out there,
right?
And it was one of the bottles that I just didn't have room to bring back, so I was like, I'm just gonna drink this one
to the dome.
And I'm really sad I didn't bring it back. It was so good. You guys would have loved it.
Well, speaking of which, on the next episode of Four Brewers, we will be talking Texas beer.
Let's chill to the next episode.
But in the meantime, if you want to find us online, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Tinder, other Snapchat
Periscope.
stuff, I guess. Periscope.
Pick a social network.
We're on there. So yeah, you can find all that information at fourbrewers.com. Go to patreon.com/fourbrewers to support the show. If you want to give us 50 cents a show, $1 a show, $10 a show, whatever you want. That would really help us out because it helps us do cool stuff.
And thank you to our current patrons. You guys and girls are all awesome.
Definitely.
And you're all in the running. It's probably still going, or if not, we have already notified you that you have won one of our new Not Pliny shirts.
Yeah.
Yes, our Liney the Plelder.
One of our new Dank Sauce Whales shirts.
That's right.
Yes.
Japanese Zero shirt.
So yeah, check that out. Give us a rating on iTunes because it helps us out, and we like to hear what you think. If you want to get in touch with us directly, you can be on our mailbag segment, which is a new thing. Email us at feedback@fourbrewers.com. Brew the shit out of it.
All right, look at this plane. Just put Pliny the Elder inside this.
That's like Pliny the Elder.
Hold on, I'm making that meme.
Pliny the Elder. If that does not catch on, we failed at the internet.
Such a shitty pun.
Oh God!
I'm gonna post that to the 4B page. It'll be fucking great.
Are you making using a meme generator kind of thing?
More like Pliny the Elder.
Why is it dusty?
It's smoke.
Yeah.
It just got shot by the Americans.
Pliny the Elder.